Yeah. Yes, I'm just helping in terms of Singaporeans in careers. I have a question with regards to me as well. How do you engage the new generation of workforce, which is Gen Y? Right, I think this is a growing phenomenon. For example, you were sharing about work-life balance. Gen Y wants to knock off at 6. They do not want to work beyond 6. They want to gain control of their time. They want to Facebook an hour every day, something like that. So, especially in the hospitality industry, how do you promote work-life balance where your working operation is 24/7? So, would you like to share about that?
Yeah, in the hospitality space, yes, you're very right. We are 24/7, 365 days a year operation. There's the peak period for us is the festive period. Christmas, New Year's, name it. It's the busiest period for us. So a lot of these Gen Y are not even just Gen Y, but even the older folks. Everyone wants to take leave when there's a festive also, right? Everyone wants that. Who don't want? But how do we arrange that is really we also have to share with our people that there's such needs, but maybe we have to take turns in a sense, or maybe you take the New Year and she take the Christmas, and the other guys take the Mid-Autumn, for example. We try to help each other in that sense as a team, and sharing the why with them, not just the Y generation, but the WHY. Why are we doing this? The purpose of this, and really making each and individuals, not just the Gen Y, but the whole workforce, to understand this is the nature of the business, and if you so choose to be in it and be part of this, this is the sum of the give and takes that you have to be part of it. Now, of course, as an organization, we try to be fair to each and individual, and we try to facilitate as much as possible as to there may be different festive things with different race and different religions that we have. We also have a very multi-dynamic workforce that we can try to arrange as much as possible. So, but to me, I think the most critical is letting each and individual know the purpose and the why, so that when they're part of the decision making, you will get that buy-in.
What about the banking and finance? Of course, you're not the city that never sleeps, because that bank really never sleeps at all. But what about the banking and finance industry?
Yeah, I belong to the older generation, so I need to start to understand the younger generation a lot more. Though I'm struggling still. Okay, I think for the younger generation, definitely in terms of banking, we have a lot of bright people. We try to hire the best and the brightest, of course, and we want to groom the talent. And a lot of them are very ambitious, obviously, so they want to learn fast, they want to be mentored. So for all these people, I think the opportunities you give them, and obviously the recognition, and the ability to give them the chance that they can go to many different sections of the bank. I think in the past, one trend we saw was a lot of job hopping, because after
go on, speak.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of job hopping, and that was because of a few things. One is that they get bored with the current job or better pay. So I mean, for better pay again, there's many ways to incentivize. So we try to not focus on pay only, but there are a lot of organizations that almost only focus on the bonus, right? But I think what we do is we try to give them more chance to take part in projects and cross-collaboration, and now you can see it all the more. Because for a bank to provide a service, you see it as your relationship manager, but there's a huge engine behind. But to make that whole chain work, actually we need to make sure that different people from different parts of the bank work together. And I hope and I think for this younger generation, if they have more chance of collaboration and more chance of learning, they feel less bored, they feel more inspired, and they feel more motivated to continue to stay in an organization. However, having said that, we are more fortunate than in a sense of hospitality, which I really think is a tough job, and I really admire them. To me, it's like nursing, or it's really tough. It's so personal. But I think we are more flexible in that sense. We do have a lot of flexi work hours, and work-life balance, we promote it. To me, it's performance. It's not about how many hours you stay in the office.
A lot of the times it's not they want to knock out at 6 or they want to go off earlier. That is not true. To me, it's not true. It's whether the organization can inspire their passion and map that to the work itself. If the passion and the work is linked, and they're just seeing as the job itself, I'm coming in and going out to work, it doesn't work. You must be able to match the individuals to the work itself and ignite the passion for that. Then they're willing to put in the hours. They were willing to put in 12 hours, 16 hours a day. No doubt, I can show you the young ones, they have the energy to do so. It's not everyone wants to knock out at 6. It is whether their passion lies in the job. If their passion lies somewhere else, yes, you put me out from the bed at 8 AM, 9 AM, come to work, look at the watch, okay, 5 plus, I should start packing already. So it's whether the passion lies in the job itself is the more critical part. And of course, organizations have to first find the right fit, and then secondly, of course, we have to continuously to motivate them, to share them the better side of the business as well. There's always give and take. There's never a perfect job, but how do you balance that? How do you see the better things when the things are not working well? So it's all about balancing and letting our younger generation to know there's a long way in our career. It's not just the current moment. We sometimes have to look slightly longer term than just today or this month. So I think a lot of times the current younger generation is a little bit short-sighted. But we do encourage and we do a mentor to actually encourage them to look slightly longer term. If not long term, at least the mid-term, so that they can see a better future in themselves.
I think I just want to share one personal experience. I have three young boys, three ambitious young boys who joined my department. Within 2 years, 2 of them left, and 1 stayed. And currently, after about 5 years, now that one is considered a team leader, the other 2, one has gone up to be like maybe a credit manager or a credit assessor, and one is like, now he's being a property agent. And that one, recently I just met up with him and he said that the one who stayed with me made a smarter choice. Because I was telling him I may not be able to pay more, 30% more, but I assure you, wait a few years down the road, you will see the rewards.
You mentioned that culture is the most important thing, and the title of this event is innovation. So how do you put in an innovation culture?
For an innovation culture, I think what we're trying to do in DBS Bank is that we are really trying to get it from the bottom. So speaking for myself, in my own team, I want to hear a lot from what we call our bank executives, our customer service officers, because day in, day out, they are the ones facing the problems. And actually, I find they have the best solutions. So what we're trying to do now is that we're trying to come up with a suggestion scheme where staff can very easily maybe post their suggestions online, and we will be sure that we try to address them. May not be able to answer each and every one of it and give them the perfect solution, but I think that encourages people to give ideas. And the thing is, a lot of big organizations like banks, a lot of people are looking to the management, but actually the best ideas come from within. So that's how I think we can have this innovative and this innovation culture in any organization. Get it from the folks.
I think it's very critical, the senior management team as well, whether they are welcoming innovations. If someone gives a suggestion that is a little bit off the norm, then it will get hammered, and no more suggestion, no more creativity you will see in the organization. If the leaders are encouraging the grounds to give suggestion and letting them know, acknowledging that in business you are taking risks. And by taking risks is any innovation you have to take huge risks in order to have something big, something really creative to come out. If you just want to be safe, it's doing the current thing is the safest. So the leader has to acknowledge that there's certain risks involved in taking in new ideas. You may also have a platform for perhaps do a pilot program. Okay, this is a good idea. Let's do it on the pilot and see what's the result. And if it fails, it fails. If it's great, we can implement to a bigger scope of organization. So things like that, I think a lot also really from the top itself is how you encourage people to give suggestions and acknowledging that risk involved in each of the innovative ideas.
I'm keen to hear Mr. Law share the Park Hotel experience on how Penny shared that when you first started, you didn't know enough of social enterprise and social entrepreneurship. But after having worked with them, you are with them hands and legs. You know, share the experience with us. It will be very insightful. Working with social innovation on GSIF?
Yes. Yeah, I think to start with, I first met Penny on this is she's just basically looking for a venue to host this event. So what I told her is that we have 3 hotels in Singapore. Do let me know what we can help. And then after that, she come around to look at a hotel, and this hotel has a venue that's suitable for various activities required for this event. So we start talking, and subsequently Penny shared a little bit more about the whole event and all the social innovations behind this event and how to create a special event that is different from a normal conference that you normally attend. So from that onward, I start getting to know a little bit more about social innovations, and from that on, we just do more and more together.
Yeah, maybe I just want to add on, that's the same journey for DBS Bank, because it was Penny who infected Chuchong, who infected me, who infected Leah, and now we hope to infect the whole bank.
Yeah, I guess social entrepreneurship is so new, so we are really hungry to know how corporates are experiencing it and how you are translating that within your corporate culture and beyond, you know, to talk to even your suppliers and your partners.
I think a lot of our organization is kind of doing it, but a lot of the SME may not be doing on a structured manner. But when you talk to them, they may realize that a certain part of the things that they do is actually they are doing it already. But how do we make them to do more or do it on a more structured manner? I think that's the part that to be introduced to the rest of the organizations.
Yeah, I think one of the things that for us, what we dream is that we want our relationship managers to know enough to have the passion, and then when we talk to the clients to kind of like influence, infect the clients, right? So we want this virus to go around, and it actually is really one person. It's just one person, but that person must have the passion to pass on. And exactly, no, they are really doing something good, but it's just that they don't know what it's called and they don't know how to do it on a structured basis. So I think with big organizations, maybe we have a chance to reach out more. So that's our strength, and that's the way we can help the smaller ones with a smaller voice and less visibility.
I think many corporates starts with CSR, and with that they get impacted when they see things happening on the ground. But beyond that, social enterprise or even charity can be good customers. And we were also questioning, can social enterprise or can corporates look towards charity and social enterprise and treat them as possible way of getting revenue, and why not? I mean, there are so many configurations that it's possible.
Yeah, for us, definitely, as was mentioned, we already support social enterprises where possible. We will try our very, very best to use them, for sure. And the next step is we actually want to have a recommended list. We must feel comfortable. We want to tell our customers why they use them. So we try them out first. See, you know, they must be competitive, right? It is a for-profit organization. They have to be able to have sustainable business and service, and they are good. We'll be very happy to recommend them.
And ultimately, we are living in a bigger environment, whether it's the public, the private, the social. I think we are all in the same environment. And even my family also have some charitable on that manner, we also learn back from our corporate way of doing things, how to ensure the foundation is sustainable, how do we manage the resources efficiently and effective, and carry out the good deeds effectively as well. So a lot of things you also fall back on how an organization run is how do you utilize the resources and how do you energize the team even at the social level and even like Singapore government is like running a country almost like a huge corporation. Is the matter of how do you create the productivity and the efficiency within the systems that actually can squeeze out more benefit to the bigger society.
And I think what we want to add is that we find a lot of social enterprises, they are very passionate, but sometimes when it comes to the structure, that corporate governance, that kind of like corporate discipline, they lack. So we hope that maybe for us who live in a very corporate culture, we can actually impart and share some of these good disciplines so that they can really achieve their profit, the revenue target, so that they can actually give back. If they can't survive, then they can't give back.